Good morning, good morning. This is Jacqueline Richardson and JJ Diamond, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. We want to thank God that we're alive another day. I'm a little wore down, mentally and physically. However, this is why I want to talk to you guys about this situation that I've been through. Not only talk about it to help me, but talk about it to help y'all, so y'all won't go through the same thing, the same pain that I'm going through mentally and physically. Ooh, my allergies is bothering me a lot today. We got clouds outside and it's just a mess. But I took my medicine, so hopefully I should be okay throughout this podcast. Well, today we want to talk about con artists. I'll tell y'all what I've been through for over 17 years, and it doesn't just be one of them, it be a whole slew of them, you know what I mean? They run in packs, that's how it is, But you got to look out for these people because they would do anything possible to get what they can get from you, break you down mentally, physically. So in other words, you'll die and then they have the benefit of whatever you had. You know what I mean? Some of us work really hard. Like myself, I've been working all my life. I've been working since I was 15 years old. Well, legally since 15, and I started working at 12. And then you meet people, and you try to be as honest as possible to let them know what type of life you had. So if they trying to really jump on board with you and be successful with you, they will follow your lead, and take the stand and say, hey, this person really wants something out of life, so let me get on board and do what I'm supposed to do, I should have noticed it, y'all. I should have noticed that this person was a con artist, but I didn't really think that people take it just that deep. I really didn't, and it's sad that, like I said, it's a flu of them. You know what I mean? They just use you for whatever they can use you for, and then when you need them, they won't give you anything. They turn their back on you. And it's sad. Then they always try to find ways to make it seem like the reason why they're not giving you something is because of the way you act or something you've done, but yet and still you haven't done anything. So they play with your mind. So con artists is not only just con artists. They're manipulators. They downplay your mind. They try to make you feel like you less than what you are. And that's just the bottom line to it. They try to break your self-esteem down until you no longer have anything. Okay, you are total submissive to them. By that point, you are on your deathbed. Okay? And people don't understand how difficult it can be, for a person to plan something out so deeply, over a course of years. No matter how long it takes, they that's the saying, no matter how long it takes, when they find that catch that they want to break down to the bare minimum, this is what they do. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I experienced in the beginning, so that way y'all can look for the signs from people. Y'all can look for the signs of what people do in order to get what they're trying to get. Okay? Number one, they persistent. Okay? They're very persistent. And especially if they know you have money. They're very persistent. They will do everything in their power to make you happy. So that way you can fall for them. They have this thing where oh, you're gonna be okay. They just want to so-called console you so deeply. And you say to yourself, well, why is this person consoling me so deeply like this? You don't even know me. But you wind up falling anyway, especially when you're in a state where there's nobody around that you know, and you pretty much are weak to having someone in your corner. Okay, so these are things that y'all need to watch out for. This particular con artist that was in my life, it started out with him just taking money off my card. I would send him to the store, and he would just take money off my card. And I'm like, well, why would you do that? You're supposed to ask. And, he would say, oh, well, I just figured, you don't never just figure nothing. You ask. That's the way it works, So at first I thought it was the upbringing. I really thought it was the upbringing. Like, okay, this man wasn't raised at all. Wasn't raised properly at all. It's just certain things you don't do.
This is a reminder. Drink water.
Alexa, dismiss. Thank you. I got my water
You're
right
welcome.
here.
Happy Tuesday. This is a reminder.
Oh, she's still
Drink
on.
water.
Alexa, dismiss. Thank you.
You bet.
Now she's going to come and tell
Enjoy
me to
your
eat.
morning.
You as well.
This is a reminder. Drink water.
Alexa, dismiss. All right, I'm drinking water. Do you need to hear me drink the water?
I'm reminding you. Eat.
All right, Alexa, I'm not hungry right now.
I'm reminding you. Eat.
Alexa, dismiss. Yeah, see, I got to fight with her. It's funny. So, they always try to make it seem like, they people are well off, and sometimes they do be well off because they unconned other people, so they do be well off, and so, perception of things from the outside and being in is two different things, you know what I mean? So, you're saying, okay, well, pretty good, decent family, you deal with the people, whatever the case may be, but the actuality of it is they're out to get you, when you're looking at things as a balance, okay, these people have money, I'm building myself to have a certain amount of money, two families with money, that's a wonderful thing, you know what I mean? However, their goal is to break you down so you don't have anything and they can have all the control, okay? That is their goal. And I'm going to give y'all some scenarios of what I went through so y'all can look out for these type of people. And when y'all run into these type of people, run fast. And I'm going to tell y'all how my life was torn apart, and God knows, I got so many witnesses of how my life was torn down in Maryland. And then people was onto them. That's what make it so bad. They was onto them. And, They was angry. They was like, how is he doing this to her? You know what I mean? Why? If you just don't want to be with somebody, don't be with them, but don't use them. It's okay to use a person, but not to misuse a person. And that's what people fail to realize. And once you have done these things several times, knowing that this person is in a weak state, it becomes, you are now a criminal. You are a con artist. You constantly breaking this person down until they have no more. I'm gonna give y'all some scenarios. My car broke down. Okay, I was working. My car broke down. Now, mind you, when I met this person, they had a car. Was it their car? No, but they had a car. So now my car breaks down. And I'm like, okay, well, go and get your car, and we'll maneuver like that until I fix my car, because when you're in a relationship, You're supposed to be able to carry each other. That's the way it works. And things happen. You wake up in life situations, and that's the point of having a mate. So when life situations happen, you can depend on that other party. That's why when God designed the earth and he put Adam out there, he said, no, he needs a mate. Just in case something goes wrong, he has somebody to be there with him. I don't want him to be alone, to be this sad man in the wilderness alone. So he must have someone. This is why he did that, So, I'm a true believer in God. So by me being a true believer in God, even when I'm alone, they say it's okay to be alone, but that's not how God designed it. He don't want you to be alone. It must be man and woman, okay? So, I always take that into consideration, but you want it to be man and woman the correct way. You want that balance. You want that marriage. You want the family. You want the love. You want the whole package that the way God designed it, Long story short, I'm gonna get back to these stories so y'all can take reference to some of this stuff, and this is why I'm in this particular field, because I've been through a lot. I've been through so much, and people, they play on that. Okay, when you've been through a lot, they say, oh yeah, you weak, but they don't know who raised me. God raised me. So when God raised you, you're not but so weak. You're constantly watching and paying attention, Let me tell y'all some stories, okay? The car broke down, couldn't get nowhere, I had to go to work, and I'm like, oh my gosh, well, what about you? You had a car? Where's your car? Oh, actually wasn't my car, so when they asked the other person, hey, can I get the car back? Because, my girlfriend, car broke down and we got to try to get it fixed and go to work or whatever the case may be. That was null and void. I should have saw the signs then, but I didn't, I just thought it was hatefulness. I said, oh, man, this person is hateful. It was okay for you to have the car to meet me, but now for us to build, it's not okay. Wow. So, that kind of stuck in my head. So now, I'm the type of person, I'm an analyst. So now I'm going to dig deeper for information, So I'm watching the field. I'm watching everything that's going on and how things are going on. But I'm very calm and I'm very laid back and I just watch stuff. You know what I mean? However, people always think that they are ahead of the game. Okay. So now I said, okay, I'm going to get a little closer to this person, because I want to understand why. What was their theory of not helping you help me? What was their theory? You got to understand it. So I never got to the understanding of it, but this is the scenario, okay? So now, other issues happen, other people come in, and I'm like, okay, well, who's these people, where they coming from, why, but you deal with the situations as they come, because that's how it works. When you are building a relationship, you deal with the situations as they come, as long as the person is honest, So now, other situations arise, and you say to yourself, this relationship is really not for me, especially when God sends other people into your life, and it's sometimes it'd be like a movie, whether you know it or not, you'll say to yourself, well, how did this happen? Nothing is done by coincidence, so, and I don't believe in coincidence. So meanwhile, by him taking money off my card, it caused a big fight. Okay, it caused a big fight between us because of the disrespect. He didn't know if I needed it. I have kids. You don't know if I was about to pay a bill with that. It don't matter how much it was. It was the respect of it, you know. So anyway, got into a big altercation. He wound up going to jail behind the situation. Um, Something that the judge had told me, the judge said, you don't know him like I do. And I just was like, whoa, what did she mean by that? Of course, she couldn't disclose his total background because that's illegal, and she's a judge. But she just wanted to let me know she was doing the right thing, It wasn't a mistake, and she knows it's not a mistake. So with that being said, I have to do my part as a judge in this city, and she did what she had to do. And of course I kept up. I kept up with this person. Visit him every 2 weeks. Because I was working 70 hours a week, and I was visiting them and trying to build this relationship because I couldn't understand. Okay, you broke the respect. You broke the bond that we was making by disrespecting me when all you had to do was ask. It was simple. Why make things harder than what it really is? You ask. You shall receive, especially if the person has it to give. Okay. Other little altercations happen as well, but I'm not gonna get into all of that. But this is one of the main ones. I had the opportunity to really get out of this relationship. I really had the opportunity because I seen all the bad signs. I just didn't think that it was a con game. Okay, that this is what these people play. However, I could have got away. God has sent someone else in my life to help me mentally and physically to overcome the small pain that I had went through, in such a small time. However, I chose to hold on. And the reason I'm going to tell y'all why I held on. Y'all know, and see, this is the thing. They play on the things that you tell them. Okay, they play on the things that you tell them, and that's why sometimes you say, should I talk or should I not talk? This is more reason why I only want to deal with people with their lives that's public, because everything in their life, and I'm one of those that life is public now. So, because when you're dealing with somebody when their life is public, it's not going to always go right, but what you're walking into. You know what I mean? That you can say to yourself, is this something I can deal with? But when the life is not public and you don't know what these people has done in the past, what they how they treat people, the things that they do, you are a victim. You become a victim. Okay? So, being that I had told this particular person, I'm into God, but I have failed him, because of the things that I've done in the past. But I'm working my way back with this relationship. I want you to work towards God as well with me. And if you can't, then we can't be together, because I need a person that's godly. I need a person that really truly believes in God, so we can move forward, because you can't have a relationship without God. You can't have build no relationship without God in our life. So this is what he knew, that I was a strong believer in God, so he played on that, and he said to me, I said, well, I don't want to be with you no more. I realize that this relationship is not working, and now you in jail, and things is up in the air, and it's just not for me, because this is not what I came for. I came to have a relationship with a man that's going to be there for me, and I'm going to be there for him no matter what, okay? Because once you find your relationship, so this is what people fail to realize. Once you find your relationship and you find your bond with a mate, and whether y'all decide to get engaged, married, or whatever, they become your immediate family, okay? Nobody outside of that should be able to do or say anything about that family. Okay, so this is how we can determine whether or not the relationship is real, because it won't go outside of that family. Okay, it would be it would be a hole. Okay? So now, I started liking some of the family, but I was seeing some things. But, you always give people the benefit of the doubt. Well, like I said, God has sent somebody else into my life, and because I was broken down. I was getting broken down, and it was like I mean, I've had issues in the past, but I never in a million years imagined something like this, for a person to just come into your life and just try to pretty much take over. Like, no respect. This is just the way it's going to be, and you're going to deal with it. I never expected that. Go to work, make the money, and this is how it's going to be. I never expected that in a million years. Not from this person. So God sent somebody else in my life, and he wanted me to see the difference, and I did. And I wanted to be with this other person, and I told him, because I'm honest, I don't cheat on people, I'm just not, when you're young, you do things, you don't understand, but once you become an adult, you say to yourself, it's not even worth it. You might as well let the relationship go because you don't want the drama. And it's several reasons. I'm going to go into that real quick about why I don't cheat, okay? Because you never know who you're dealing with on that other side. And you could meet a man or a woman, and that man or woman become deranged, okay? And when you have a family, y'all seen the movie Fatal Attraction, and, you dealing with this person, they getting to the point where they can't deal because you're not with them and all this other stuff. So now they want to seek you out. They want to find your house. They want to torture your family, and that's one of the reasons why I don't cheat. I just don't do it, because I don't want people hurting my family over something that I've done. I know y'all know how people have cheated in the back in the days, how people have cheated and things happen. The woman run up on the man, or, the man is stalking the woman and he got to have her, so he kill her. And, I've seen a lot of that, real life, So this is why I've learned my lesson by seeing some of these things real life, okay? And I always said I would never put my family in harm's way in that order, okay? It would never be because of something that I decided to do, okay? Whether it's just be extra nice to a person, because being nice, saying hello, hey, how you doing? You can always a level where you stop and you say enough is enough, okay? I'm not hanging out with you. I'm not going on a date with you. I'm not doing none of that, because that always pushes people's minds to, I believe this person wants me. And then if you really don't want them and you're just trying to seek them out, that's when the problems can become worse. So that's why I never cheat, because I don't want to put my people in jeopardy, So I told him, I said, listen, I don't want to be with you no more. I want to be with this other man, and I'm not going to cheat on you, And I'm going to tell y'all a story that I experienced, and I'm going to come back to this. Another reason why I don't cheat. I used to live in Jacksonville, Florida, okay? I had met this guy, and he did so much to me when he met me. It was like unreal. It was like I met him at the store, and, I told him where I was from. He used to wear a lot of jewelry, and, back in the day, I used to wear a lot of jewelry too, for those that remember. And we connected, and he was doing everything for me, when I say everything, he was buying me stuff, taking me out, doing whatever I wanted him to do. This particular guy went to jail, and I didn't know that he had his family, are watching me, every single day of my life. And he, when he went to jail, this particular jail in Florida was like unreal. It was down in the Orlando area, and because that's where he had got caught at. So it was, yeah, I believe like in between, almost between Jacksonville and Orlando, wherever this jail is. Because I don't remember. It was back when I was 18, and he had gave me all his jewelry, and he said, "Here, I want to make sure you'll be okay." Because I'm not getting out no time soon. So, you take this jewelry, pawn it, do whatever you got to do, and take care of yourself. But of course, money runs out, I pawned the jewelry, did everything he said do, but money runs out. So I started looking for a job or whatever the case may be. Couldn't find a job right away. Long story short, I met a guy. And he said, okay, well, I'll help you out, come on, until you find a job or whatever the case may be. One thing leads to another, I wound up getting pregnant by this man, okay? When I got pregnant by this man, at first, of course, you don't show, so you can't really prove anything, you know what I mean? But once the belly started getting big, he was able to prove that I really was pregnant, So now this gets back to him. Well, he says, no, not him. His brother comes to me and say, my brother's going to kill you. You know that, right? I said, why? Because you're pregnant and he's in jail. I said, well, the relationship is over. He knew that when he got locked up. He got, 15 years. So did he expect me to wait for 15 years? Like, really? I mean, my life is just getting started. I'm 18 years old. So he killed this particular guy that I was dealing with. Not him. He put the order in to get this guy killed. And I wound up leaving Jacksonville, Florida. That taught me a big lesson about dealing with people that you don't know. So you dig deep into people before you really deal with them. So long story short, I just wanted to throw that out there. How people can turn on you, He wasn't a con artist, but because I didn't want for nothing dealing with him. It's just that he went to jail, and I was alone, But the point I'm trying to make is people's minds, the way people think, So that's why I wanted to tell y'all that story. Anyway, getting back to this other person. They said to me when I said, I see how this is going, and I've been through this before where I got with a guy, and he went to jail, and this is what my mind was focused on. You know what I mean? This other story that I just told y'all. Okay, my mind was focused on that. So I'm like, okay, how do you want to do this? You don't want to deal with this guy until you out of this relationship. So this is what led me to be the person that I am today, to say, hey, break the ties with a person before you actually move on, So this is why I said, okay, let me talk to him and let him know I don't want to be with you no more. I want to be with this other guy. Well, he so-called broke down on the phone. He broke down, oh, I love you. And I'm like, well, if you loved me, you wouldn't have did what you did from the beginning. So that's just what it is, because love doesn't hurt. You're not going to just do stuff and think that people have to accept what you do to them. Okay? So now, and I want to try to speed this up a little bit because I got other things to do, but he, like I said, broke down, I'm going to get baptized. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. Just stand in my corner. So, I had to sleep on it, and toss and turn in my bed overnight and say, I see this guy over here, he got minimal issues that can just be, but this guy over here, he already had issues in our relationship, and I should leave. But, you got to give people a chance to change. Okay, you got to give them that chance, especially when they say, and you realize that everybody's not raised the same. So when you realize that, you say to yourself, okay, well, they wasn't raised the way I was raised, so now they have to learn what I will tolerate and what I won't tolerate. Okay, so, Granted, he was already in a situation prior to this that led to him going to jail with us having an altercation. So that right there tells you that his life is drama, And I said, do I really want to be with this guy? Because I'm not into this drama thing. I'm not really into this, I left that stuff a long time ago. I've been running from my family because of all of their drama. And for me to get into a relationship with a guy that got drama going on in his life is not for me, But I prayed about it and I said, okay, because I cared about him, because he was like there, on a regular basis. We worked at the same job, he was there, helping me with my kids. I would say, "Oh God, I got to get the baby from the daycare," and he'd be like, "All right, well, I'll go run and get him." And see, that's the thing. They build this bond with you to make you think that they really care. In actuality, they don't. Okay, and it all comes out later on. Okay, you just don't see it at that point. I'm gonna move down a little further. So I felt like this man was, he's been in my life. I had got pregnant. I'm gonna tell you this other thing he did that like blew my mind, and I should have left. But at that point, I was so weakened and burnt out. It was like, okay, I didn't know whether or not I should leave the relationship or not. I was just so weakened. I wound up getting pregnant, had a baby. And I got sick after I had my baby. I had pneumonia, I had it real bad, And before I had the baby, we was going through issues, And I couldn't understand, like, why is he putting me through issues and I'm pregnant? Don't he know that the baby, I could lose the baby, my immune system is down, my stress level is up, and I can get really sick behind this. And I did. Okay, I really did. And it's sad because I almost died. When I got to the hospital, my oxygen level was 11. Now, I called this man. I couldn't call him because he didn't have a phone. But I called his family members and I said, hey, I'm on my way to the hospital. I was talking to them while I was driving to the hospital. My oxygen was at 11 then, okay? They didn't know it, and I didn't know it either. I was literally dying while I was talking to them, okay? And I said, the doctor is sending me to the hospital because I'm really, really sick. Can y'all please tell this person to get to the hospital? I'll get to the hospital. You wait in the waiting room. You know how that go. You wait in the waiting room. I should have let the doctor call the ambulance, but, I didn't want to go through the thing of the ambulance because kept saying, well, what about the kids? What about the kids? That's what the doctor kept saying to me. And I was like, I can't take them back home now because I'm sick. I got to go to the hospital. So what am I supposed to do with the kids? So you telling me to get you're going to call an ambulance. What are you going to do with my kids? That was my main concern. I said, I'll just drive because it was only less than a mile. Anyway, I get to the hospital. They saved me, but I was sick as I don't know what, But they kept saying, we need someone to come get your kids. And I'm like, well, I don't have nobody but this boyfriend, And they're like, okay, well, we got to do something. And then if he don't come and get these kids, we're going to have to put them in the system. They was in the process of putting my kids in the system because I was sick. I called this man at 10:30. Called these people at 10:30 a.m. Nobody showed up to the hospital until 8:30 p.m. Y'all count the hours. They was about to send my kids to the system. Okay? And when he walked in the hospital, the nurse went off. Like, where have you been? She's really, really sick. She's really, really sick. What part of this you don't understand? She's dying. At the time, I wasn't focused, enough to understand, All I knew was I was sick and I was just worrying about getting better. But the actuality of it was that's what he wanted, me to die. Okay, that's what it was. They wanted me to die. I didn't recognize that until later, But when God has control of something, it doesn't happen, Because I had a baby by him. If I would have died, my daughter would have got a check. Mission complete. Mission complete. Like I said, but anything that walks with God and is under God's hands, he makes sure it doesn't happen, Then, okay, after all of that was done, like I said, I'm weak mentally, I'm weak physically. I just had a baby, I'm going through postpartum. They wanted to come to my house for drama. Right after the same day I got out the hospital. Same day. And I said to myself, like, who is these people? These people wasn't raised at all. I'm just standing there because I'm weak. I'm on prednisone. I'm just like saying to myself, like, this can't be real. This is some stuff out of a movie. It was planned. Because they wanted to kill me and take my baby. That was their goal. Okay? That's when I started seeing I had to fall back. So eventually I did break up with him. I got me a nanny, because I had to go through altercations with him about taking care of his child while I work. He wasn't working, but he didn't want to take care of the child. Now they wanted to throw the child off on me to make me weak, But God blessed me with getting a nanny. And that way I was able to work and not have a care in the world. Birthdays. My baby experienced so much with these people, negative. And that's the things you got to also watch out for, the torment that people are putting on your child, the mental states, You don't know why they doing what they do, but you say to yourself, it's not right. So you have to stand up for your children, Now, years are going by, and you're just not seeing it, you know what I mean? You're just not seeing it. And you're saying to yourself, like, okay, why is this happening to me? Should I just pick up and just bounce, and get away from these people? Or should I try to work this out because you really care about this person, but you're saying to yourself, it's impossible that they just don't have the common sense to do right. And then the family is right on the same chapter that they're on. And you're saying, how? How? Where do these people come from? So I was always raised, when you have a child by a man, you let that child be with their family, because you want a child to know who they are. Because there's all kind of stories out here, and I know y'all heard of them, where kids will grow up away from their families, and next thing you know, they dating and don't even know that they brother and sister and stuff like that. So, some people have vowed to say, hey, I'm gonna let these kids see their family members, so that way none of that craziness will happen, or the kid won't come to you later on and say, hey, you took me from my family. It's simple. Have a peaceful state of mind about how you deal with things. No drama. We don't want no drama. That's all. I'm thankful for my oldest two kids, fathers and their mothers. They never got into the relationship part of it, but they made sure that they, whatever I needed help with, they was there. We had a good relationship. It was never no chaos. Never. Okay? Because they never overstepped their boundaries. Okay? They never, whatever we was going through in our relationships, they didn't, see, I had my other kids' grandmothers, they were true to the game. You know what I mean? They've been through some things. So it's like, okay, I know, what it's like to have to take on the whole responsibility of your child while your baby father is doing whatever elsewhere. So we're going to build that relationship outside of that person. And that's what they did for me. And I love both of my kids' grandmothers to this day. I love them both. Okay? And they love, one has passed away, but the other one, she loves me too as well. To this day. And it's been, my oldest child is 34. Okay? So, some of these things is the things that I was missing. But let me go on real quick, because I'm only going to give y'all about an hour and a half, and then I'm going to get up off this podcast. But I want to give y'all these scenarios so y'all can watch out for these things. Okay? So now, I run into some extra money. I already had money though. Y'all noticed I told y'all I had a nanny. I had everything I needed. My kids had everything they needed, and he knew that because I was taking care of him as well, And people kept coming at me and it was like, why are you allowing this man to lay up on you, and it's not right. Where's his family? Why they not telling him? Why they not helping him? And I should have paid attention to that, But, I just felt ashamed. And now I'm getting broken down even more. Not only from the inside, I'm getting broken down from the outside as well. Because they're saying, nah, this is not right. This is not right. And you need to address this. Why is his family not addressing this? And I just couldn't understand it. I was saying to myself, y'all coming at me too much. I can't deal right now. So, I tried to block it all out, And he came to me. I told him about it, he came to me and he said, I just want to be able to take care of my kids and do what I have to do, and he cried on my shoulder. He cried and cried. I'll never forget this day. I see it like it was yesterday. He cried. Tears came down his eyes like big drops of water, and said, all I want to do is just get this right. And I said, well, everybody needs somebody. And that's why I'm here, So if you want me to help you, I'll help you, So I decided to buy him a business. And he didn't know the business, so he had to learn the business, But he got real frustrated with the business or whatever the case may be. So it actually didn't work out, Numbers wasn't right with the business because I was dealing with a lot. I had lost my job behind buying this business. And at the time, I lost my mom, so I was in the process of burying her and getting her situated, So it was a lot going on. But we had got us a home, and I was holding up the business and trying to hold up the household as much as possible, And I'm only one person, And I told him, I said, listen, one of us got to get a job because I'm falling. And he looked at me, So I wound up going out to get the job while he ran the business. It didn't work out, whatever the case may be. But the long story short, I wound up almost losing, I did lose the house, okay? And the reason being is because he walked away instead of just getting a job. It would have been okay, When I lost the house, nobody helped me. Nobody, And I'm saying to myself, now I'm put all this money into this man, and I bought him the business. I paid his child support, made sure he had clothes, made sure he ate, made sure he didn't want for anything, And when I lost my house, everybody turned their back on me. And it was a hurting feeling. It made me go in circles. I'm just be honest with y'all. It made me go in circles because mentally I was like, I can't believe how much effort and investment I put into this man, and I have nothing. Okay, and his family, they wouldn't even help. They wouldn't even help. Unreal. Okay. After they watched me invest in this man, okay, their family. So I wound up in the shelter with my kids, back to that life. But my kids wasn't used to that because they was used to living this particular life. They was used to this man being in their life. They was used to a certain type of lifestyle. So I wound up going back to this man, due to me being ill, pretty much needing him. And I said to myself, okay, sometimes God separates you just to see how much a person really cares, I already know the family don't care, so, it is what it is, but he might care, and that's where my mind was set, Sometimes you have to go through ups and downs, and God needs to see that this person is going to go through the ups and downs with you, okay, to the bitter end until y'all able to smile again, okay? Well, it was like these ups and downs would not end, okay? And I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about this house that I had got. It was supposed to be a rent to own. I'm going to give y'all some insight on that. Maybe tomorrow I will give y'all some insight on why I never get a rent to own. Okay. But however, I wound up losing, okay, in this particular rent to own. The reason why I did a rent to own is because I had bought the business, which was $96,000 that was on my credit. I had bought 2 brand new cars. One was his that I bought and one was mine. So I had so much on my credit at the time, they told me that it wouldn't be a good time to take out a mortgage because then I'll be overstepping the money that I was bringing in. And I was bringing in a lot of money, but it just wasn't, and I was able to afford it. But you don't want the banks to see that you are overpowered with fresh credit, okay? Like you bought all these things up within a matter of 3 months, okay? So I understood what they were saying to me. So I said, okay, well, I'll do the rent to own. So we was doing the rent to own. And like I said, I wound up losing a house. So that put me in another bad state because now it's saying that I couldn't pay the rent to own. Okay, so you saw how they pretty much effed me. But I'll get into that. So I couldn't even get an apartment. Okay, I couldn't get nothing. Okay. Then I went into tax debt. Okay, so now this is where God needed to see that this particular man was going to stand his ground and do right by me. I kept telling him, get an apartment. This is your time to lead the family. You got to lead the family. He refused to do it. He refused. And I kept saying, why? Why? I couldn't understand it. I was just like in just a bad state. I was like, this dark cloud was over me, like, what are you here for if you're not going to help me, because I was there for you. I gave you all of this stuff. I gave you my whole life, so what are you here for? He refused to get an apartment. Well, then we moved, and I wound up going out working, and I finally got myself a place, and I said, okay, are we going to do this? I realized you made these mistakes because you don't know anything, because you don't have any guidance. Your family is not even trying to help mentally to say, hey, man, you're supposed to be doing this, or you're supposed to be doing that, or try and do this and try and do that. But they wasn't doing that. They left him blinded, So, long story short, I wound up getting me another place. He tried to step up as a man later, but in the beginning, he wasn't stepping up as a man. So it kind of was breaking me down. I got really sick for like 2 years of being in this new area. And I was seeing the hate and the deceit. I was seeing a lot of it, but I don't say nothing. I just, I sit back. Recently, he got himself together, got a job, and, he good. So I'm saying to myself, okay, well, why are you so hateful towards me now that you're able to do right by me? Now, you cried on my shoulder and said, well, you wish you could take care of your family, take care of your girl, do right by your girl, and now you're so hateful. So make me understand this, okay? This is supposed to be the time that we smile because you are in the place that you said you wanted to be, and you're doing it on your own, not with my help. You know, because sometimes you can enable people by helping them, you know, and I saw that, you know, because I always look at my mistakes, like, okay, I helped them get the business, you know, and I shouldn't have did that, you know. That was enabling, you know, because it was just given to him, you know. I need him to go out and be a man and get a job and on his own and hold that job and take care of his family. And when he comes home, be that man that he's supposed to be, you know. And he did that. He did that. But as soon as he got on top, he ran. Okay? So that's where it turns into a con artist. A con artist love, okay? It really wasn't real. He just needed to get himself together. And once he got himself together, I was no longer needed. Okay? So these are the things that y'all need to watch out for. You know, people that would take from you, but won't do what they need to do for you. Okay? He kept me in confusion. You know, I would say, okay, well, let's do this. Let's move here. Everything was always in confusion. You know, instead of talking to me, everything was a secret. Okay? That's why it becomes a con artist. Because when you're too secretive, you don't want me to be the immediate that I'm supposed to be as the woman in your life, building a relationship. That means you had planned to do all of these things. Okay? That's when it turns into a crime. Okay? Because you don't just, people don't just give you just to be giving you. People give you because you asked for it and you say you needed it. But then when you run away, when you get it actually turns into a crime because you're not showing equal love and loyalty. That's when it becomes a motive. Okay, so people don't know that. Okay, this is why you always got to be, communication is always the key, people. You know, people get themselves into crimes that they don't even know that they're committing. You know, does he know that he committed a crime? He probably do. Because it has happened around him in the past. But it is a crime. You can't con people out of money and try to keep your name at a minimum so you won't lose, but then you make them lose. Okay? There's series of con artists. Okay? And this one here is a major one. People will literally wait until you are no longer so they can get whatever they need to get from you. Die. They just want you to die so they can have stability. Okay? It's sad. So you have to be careful when you get with these people, especially if you have money. You have to be careful. You know, thank God that I don't have that much, as much as I had in the past. You know, because then he probably would have held on even longer. You know, but this is what people do. This is what people do. They find, you know, somebody that has more and more. You know, I'm kind of glad that God broke me down, because if he didn't break me down, he would have leached on until pretty much I died and had everything. Okay? So, you know, you have to watch out for these type of people, because it would tear your life apart. They will tear it to pieces. And then you're sitting there saying, how did this happen when I was here yesterday and today I'm over here? You know, you say that in your mind like, ain't no way possible. I was up here and this person done drained me so much mentally and physically now that I'm down here. How? But then when you speak to those people, other people about it, you know, and they listen, you know, you go to counseling, they come up with that scenario of what you was really dealing with because they've seen it before. People will just come into your life because they know you have stability and they will find a way to get that stability from you instead of building it themselves. Okay? They will con their way through a whole relationship instead of just, it's easy to just build your own empire than it is to snatch somebody else's. Okay? And if you're true to it, you don't have to snatch it because it's going to be given to you. Okay? And so that's what they fail to realize. And that's what the con artists, they be moving too much and moving too fast, thinking too fast, so they don't know the next step. Well, what's the next step? What we going to do? What we going to do? We got to do something. What we going to do? Because I need this. They're willing to take a certain sacrifice just so they can get whatever they need. And once they get it, they're gone. That's how you know you've been conned. And some of them would, how long it takes, they don't care. They will see people on their dying beds. You know? They don't care. They will wait it out. You know? But when they see that they can't really get nothing and now it's their turn to show, to share the love and be open to everything that's going on around, they run. Okay? That's what they do. So you have to look out for those type of people, you know. Once they have said, you know, okay, I'm just because they did this for me, don't mean I'm doing it for them. That's when it turns into a crime. So you got to know what you do before you do it. You know, I try to tell people, you know. I always try to warn them, but they don't listen, you know. You know, people never listen. This is why I make these podcasts for you guys so y'all can listen. But, you know, not a lot of people listen. You got some people that will listen. And then you got some people that just be like, I don't care what that person is saying. They don't know. They don't know. That's what they think. You don't know. But that's why God put you in a certain place to see what they were going to do before he totally bless you. Okay? Because if you're not deserving of something, God is going to step in. He wants to see what you're going to do and how you're going to do things. And this is how you know people that really believe in God, because they're going to do things right to progress. Okay? But those that's devils, they're going to always try to find another way. They're going to always try to find another way to get out of something so they don't have to be a part of it no longer. Because they feel like they're satisfied. I'm satisfied with what I got. I don't need that no more. You know, to try to survive, you know, I'm good. That's the way they feel. But then they don't realize that there's always someone smarter. Okay? You know, there's always someone smarter and there's always someone watching. And they may get conned as well. You know? But we're not here to talk about that. We're just talking about the things that you look for when you think a person is using you. Because I didn't think this person was using me. They had me believing that their family was just so bad. They only had one person in their family that was good. But it was all a game. The whole thing was a game. They wanted me to fall. They wanted me to die. Okay? Especially after I had that baby, because they knew that I had monies put away. They knew that. So if she died, we get the baby, we get the money. They knew that. You have to learn who you're dealing with. And it takes a while sometimes to learn a person. It takes a person, the people that you're dealing with. It takes time to learn the people that you are around and that you're dealing with. Okay? You will see the patterns. And once you start seeing the patterns and you see the red flags get away, because there's always going to be red flags, and the reason being is because anything that the devil is conjuring up, God is going to step in to try to show you that, no, this is not how it's going to be. So then that's when they have to come up with another plan. There's always another plan. Okay? That's when they become con artists. Because they keep planning more and more and more and more. Okay? Instead of just setting a goal and live a regular life, it's simple and be happy. I don't know. I think some people just like being in so much drama, with the police and the streets. And, I just think some people just like that. Because I don't understand personally myself. This is just me. If you got a good thing going, and you're about to see success in a relationship where y'all can stand tall together and say, hey, we did this thing, and you walk away from it, something is not right. And then your family is not telling you what you should be doing right to hold on to that, then from that point right there that it was all planned. It was all planned. Because in any relationship, when things are going on negatively in a relationship, the family steps in. Okay? This family refused to step in. And I had to actually act a fool. And see, that was their test. That was their test. And they didn't even know it. The test was being tested. When a family sees a couple together and they're about to fall mentally and physically, they're supposed to step in and try to guide. For years, they refused to. For years. I would hear that's just the way, it is. Or he is. Won't say too much. Don't want to be honest about the situation. That's what I had to hear. Okay? These are the things you're going to hear from people, and sometimes I even watch these movies and it be stuff like that, and you be saying to yourself, this is unreal. How the family will just turn and try to make everything seem like you're the problem, when all you was asking for was help in return for what you had already given. Okay? So, like I was saying, I look at some of these movies and I say to myself, like, damn, that's what's happening to me. Then they wanted to push me to be somebody that I'm not, that I leveled up from. That was the other thing. God stopped it. And when you know God is involved, you know what I'm saying? That's why you have to laugh sometimes, because when God is involved and he said, no, 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 no. Who do y'all think y'all are? Y'all not stepping in this when I have elevated this person and built this person. Y'all not going to know. They tried to make me something that I wasn't. That I leveled up from years ago, 20 years ago. How dare y'all? And I went along with it. I did. I went along with it. I went along with it. Because I wanted to see the outcome and what it was going to do. You know I have 16 years in sales. Why would I go back to doing something that's going to kill my body at my age? When I can make money not hurting without breaking a sweat. Why would you want me to do that? Because you're still trying to kill me, huh? You know? So I had to look at the reality of things. You know what I mean? The factor of things, you know? And, you know, he had already said, my family don't like you, you know? So I took that for what it was. You know, you don't tell people stuff if you're not real about it. And I said, so that's why they've been trying to kill me all these years. That's why they didn't notify you when I was in the hospital dying. That's why they didn't do this or they didn't do that. Well, I never did anything to them. So what is it? They don't like my money? Is that what they don't like? You know, but I never asked the question because I really didn't care. Because I already saw the light by this point. Okay, but now it's time for me to see the light when it comes to you. Because even though they put me through this, what are you going to do? And when you showed what you was going to do, now the tables turn. Now we see who it really was about. It really was about you from the beginning. Okay? So you have to look out for these things, people. You know, it's sad because you want to find these perfect relationships where y'all have your ups and downs. Like, you know, you work them out. You get back together. You try to build. You have goals. You want to live the American dream, you know. But in actuality, sometimes people are just out here to seek better for themselves and not you. Okay? So you got to look out for that type of thing. It's not about loving you. It's about what they can get out of you. Okay? And these are the things that we have to watch for. You know? These are the things, you know, building the American dream life family doesn't exist anymore because everybody is out to help only themselves. You know, this man told me after 17 years of being with him, I wasn't family. How is that when I'm more connected to you than your own family? How is that? Please tell me. When we go to the doctor, who shows up? Who's there? Who numbers is on your paperwork? But I'm not family after 17 years. So this is when you know that it was all planned, people. It was all a game to get what they wanted and move on. I know it's harder and harder every day to find a good mate, you know, and I see a lot of women cry. You know, I see a lot of women go through pain because of the things that men do, you know, and sometimes even with women. Women is trifling too, you know. You got women out here that's young marrying old men just to wait for them to die just to get their money, you know. What was that? Anna Nicole, she was one. But you see what she went through. You know, people can be trifling. Okay? They can be trifling. And you got to watch out for those type of things. You know? Because your life will get turned upside down. And then you're saying, why? Why? I've done everything I was supposed to do. That you ask them, like, so what am I doing wrong to mess up this relationship? And they tell you, oh, nothing. You're not doing anything wrong. Because communication is the key. You must ask. So if you feel like you're doing something wrong, you can fix it. You know, that's the way it works. You know. Well, when you ask them and they tell you you're not doing anything wrong, so I'm doing everything right, but you're draining me. Why? You're downing me. Why? Why are you breaking me down? Then you tell me, you and your family members tell me, oh, I just can't take it. You're damn right I can't take it. I've been going through it for 17 years. And y'all stripped me of everything I have. You're damn right I can't take it. Enough is enough. You have stripped me of my soul, my mental, my self-esteem, my money. You're damn right I can't take it. Enough is enough. That's when it becomes a con. Because it was planned to break you down. Okay? I'm a human being. I'm not an alien. I'm not even an animal will get tired of being taken advantage of. Now, people have watched my life for 17 years. Especially Marilyn. Marilyn was on it, though. And any reason that they felt like they needed to step in, they did. And I appreciate y'all, Marilyn, for everything that y'all did to try to make me see that this wasn't right. I was actually blessed that I had people to stand up for me and say that it wasn't right. I'm thankful. But as I get off this podcast, I would like to say a prayer. You know, I'm moving on with my life. You know, I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm moving on with my life. I'm going to be available to start dating again. And hopefully I won't find the same things I found in these people. You know, and I will be able to move on with my life, get a husband, and live my life godly the way I want to and be free. You know, because that's the only way you can be free is if you are living godly. And I know this. You know, you got to follow the signs of what God, the journey that God sends you down. And that's just what it is. You know, if you want to live happy and peace. You know, so, you know, I'm not really looking for relationships, but I'm willing to deal, you know, just until I see enough to say, okay, yeah, this person and his family may be good enough for us to join and be one in a relationship and accept, you know, the love for what it is, you know. So I'm going to end this in a prayer, you know. Jehovah God, I come to you and I ask you to just continue to cover me and keep me away from these bad people, Jehovah God. The lesson that you put me through, I understand. And I want all the people to understand it as well, so they won't go through the same torture I had to go through with these people, Jehovah God. Jehovah God, you know, I opened up my heart, opened up my mind, and I opened up my soul to love. And that was the wrong thing in my heart because my heart was always aching and was always in pain. And you've told me that love don't hurt. Love is not painful. So with that being said, you have given me the lesson that I needed to learn. The lesson that I need to teach. To help people clear their minds and do things right. by you so we can live in peace. Jehovah God, I just ask you to just cover all my friends and all my family. Cover me and my daughter and my son. That we, and all of my kids, I'm sorry, Jehovah God, cover all of my kids. I'm just talking about the ones that's here with me right now. Cover all of my kids. That we don't run into people of this nature no longer. That you will block every negative person that comes in my space. That you would keep all negative away from me, Jehovah God. Because I am here for you, Jehovah God. I'm here to live out what you have asked us to live out, Jehovah God. So I can be free here on earth. So I can live everlasting life here on earth. Once again, I ask you to cover all my friends and family and those that's in my corner and there to help me, Jehovah God. I ask you to bless them all. And I ask you in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen. See, we have to pray on a daily basis because we have these devils that walks the earth with us, and they will take us in a rim that we don't ever want to see, And I constantly pray for each and every person that's in my circle or that is a part of me and my being a friend to me or family to me. I pray for them daily, on a daily basis. So I say that to say, if you are a part of me, just know that you're getting prayed for. Because you know who's true. I say that to say, you know a true person's heart if they're getting blessings on a daily basis. And they didn't know somebody was praying for them. I'm going to leave this podcast right now, guys. But just y'all remember, watch out for these people. Watch out for these people, because they will bring drama into your life that you don't ever want to deal with. When you start seeing the signs and the red flags, get away. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I don't want this relationship. I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to deal with what you're willing to give. Just let it go. People used to always tell me, and the thing about it is, I was trying something new. I was trying something new in my life. The reason why I was trying something new is because it said if things wasn't working out with what you was doing in the past, try something new. And I was trying to hold on to a relationship because I was always one that would just get up and be like, look, I can't do this relationship with you. This is the type of life that I'm trying to live, and I'm focused on this. And if you're not going to be on the same path that I'm on, we can't do this relationship. I keep it moving. And I just let them know, this is what I want out of life. I want the big, nice house with the picket fence. I want my family to take trips. I want this. I want that. This is the way I want to live my life. And if you're down with that, then we can rock. But if you're not, then you have to go. And that's just how you got to be. You just got to be honest. Like, it's funny because, what they say, you got to make people do applications, when you go into a relationship. You be like, oh, fill out this application because I need to know all about you. Because I'm going to Google you. I got to see what's going on with you. Because these people today, and you never know what people are saying behind your back, stabbing you in your back, you never know, So that's why you have to be careful, So y'all guys, just take care of yourselves out there. And then tomorrow I'm going to talk to y'all about, what I say I'm going to talk to y'all about, that rent-to-own thing. I'm going to talk to y'all about that. So that way y'all won't get into that rim of hurt of life. I've been through a lot, y'all. From 12 years old, from losing my brother all the way up to now, and, people say I should be weak. I should be falling apart, but I'm not because I got God in my life. So that's the number one key, and I try to teach y'all that every single day. That keep God in your life, because when you have nothing else and nowhere else to turn, you have God to turn to. You know. So y'all make sure that y'all keep God in your lives and keep going. Whatever you plan to do, keep going. Doesn't matter how long it takes, just keep going. Don't stop. That's the key, because people will torture you so bad to where you can't think. I see so many women. I told you about the woman that I saw in the courthouse the other day, which you could tell she was mentally disturbed because of her relationship. And it's sad what people do. It's sad. And then they think they're not doing anything. They're just evil. You know? And they don't realize that what they're bringing on people's families. Destroying their names, their well-being of what they've built to be. I can't help that my family was building that empire since young. I have to finish that out. Some families, they just live. They don't want nothing but to use and abuse and take. That's some families. Every family is different, so you got to make sure that whatever families that y'all dealing with, y'all on the same wave. Because if y'all not on the same wave, it's not going to work. You know? So I say that to say, y'all have a wonderful day. I love you guys. It's turning out to be a nice day out there. I see that the sun is starting to shine. You know, I love it when the sun shines. I love the sun, y'all. I love nature. You know, so the sun is shining through my window so pretty, you know. So it's time for me to get up and get outside and enjoy that vitamin D up there. It's time for me to enjoy that, and y'all do the same. So y'all have a wonderful day. I love you guys, and I'll talk to y'all soon.